Hi, it's Divyajyoti Mahapatra. Welcome to my channel DJM Physics.
Hello students, in the last class we have learned about the unit vector, orthogonal unit vectors, and also we learned the vector resolution of 2D vectors specially. Okay, so let me just revise it in 2 minutes. So for 2D vector, what we learn that if this is a vector A vector which is on a plane, and if these are x and y axis, let this is x axis and this is y axis, okay, then and if this angle is theta, then this vector can be divided into two component. Along this it will be a cos theta, and along this it will be a sin theta. And according to the axis, if it is along x and y, if it is along x, then it will be a cos theta I cap. If it is along y, it will be a sin theta j cap. Similarly, if it is z axis, then it is a cos theta k cap. Since if it is minus x axis, then it will be a cos theta minus k cap, like that. According to the axis you can write, and I have also explained there how to know along which a cos theta will come and along which a sin theta component will come. Then we have written a formula that any vector A vector can be written as ax I cap plus ay j cap if it is along x and y. If it is along some other axis, let it is along y and z, then you can write maybe ay j cap plus az k cap or something like that. Okay, for now I am just taking that it is x and y two dimensional, so I am writing ax I cap plus ay j cap. Similarly, we have defined the A vector magnitude or A, that can be written as ax square plus ay square root over. We have seen some examples also based on this. And the third point, we know that any vector can be written as its magnitude into its unit vector, A vector magnitude into A cap. So from here I can write A cap equal to A vector by A vector magnitude, or I can write A vector is this much ax I cap plus ay j cap divided by A vector magnitude, that is x square plus ay square root over. Okay, so these all we knew in for a 2 dimensional vector. Now we can extend the same thing in 3 dimension also. Okay, if there are three axes, I have explained that all the axes are mutually perpendicular to each other. This z axis is not actually like this, it is like this. Okay, but we cannot draw it like this, that is why we are drawing it here. So, and if there is a vector, A vector is let here. Okay, this vector is not actually like this, this vector is actually like this again. Okay, it has some width, some length, some width, and also some height. It is like this, but again we cannot draw that, that is why I am just showing it like this. Okay, and here exactly in the same formula, if we extend to 3D, then I can write here, okay, that A vector can be written as ax I cap plus ay j cap plus az k cap. Similarly, if this thing I will write here in 3D, then I can write A vector magnitude or A can be written as root over of ax square plus ay square plus az square, exactly as we are doing in the 2 dimension. Similarly, this formula if I will write, it will be A cap will be equal to the same formula, A vector by A vector magnitude, so it will be ax I cap plus ay j cap plus az k cap divided by root over of x square plus ay square plus az square. Okay, so these were the formula, but here one important change is that you cannot write that it is a cos theta, a sin theta like that here in this case. Here we have to define at least 2 angle, or let us define 3 angle. The angle it made with x axis is alpha, the angle it make with y axis is let beta, and the angle it makes with z axis is let gamma. Okay, so here you have to define at least two. You have to give at least two angle out of these three. Like here it was making an angle theta here, and let it is making an angle beta here. You don't have to mention this beta, you can only mention this angle theta, and you can divide it, a cos theta, a sin theta, like that. Out of those two angle you met with x axis and y axis, only one angle we need, and according to that we can divide. Again, in the similar way, out of these three angle alpha, beta and gamma, we need at least two angle, at least two. And also I have to remember one point here, mathematical concept actually. It is cos square alpha plus cos square beta plus cos square gamma equal to 1. Remember this, and we are going to use this identity or this formula to find the expression of a vector. Now how this a vector can be written in this term? Okay, by using this term I can write a vector as a cos alpha I cap plus a cos beta j cap plus a cos gamma k cap. This is the formula for 2 dimension, which was not similar kind of formula was not there for 2 dimension. It is only there for 3 dimension. And remember, what is alpha, beta and gamma? Alpha, beta and gamma are the angles made by the vector with the x axis, y axis and z axis. Okay, and remember where we are going to use this formula. If this is given, if all the angles are given alpha, beta, gamma, then no problem. You put in this formula, you will find the value. What is a cos alpha here? This a cos alpha is nothing but ax. This a cos beta is nothing but ay, and this a cos gamma is nothing but this az. Okay, so if alpha, beta, gamma, all the three angles are given, then no problem, you can directly use this formula to write the expression of a. Okay, but if only alpha and beta, or alpha gamma or beta gamma, out of these three angles, if only two angles are given, then you have to go for this formula. You have to use this formula to find the other angle. Okay, let only alpha and beta are given and gamma is not given to me. In that case, you have to use this formula to find the value of gamma. Okay, and then use this formula to find the expression of a. This is how we have to do. Okay, for detail, actually how to do it in detail solution, if you want, then you can use the question number 15 actually to check how we are going to solve. If two angles are only given, how to use this formula to solve the answer. Okay, now let us come to the next concept, which is about position vector and displacement vector. Let us check. What do you mean by position vector? Position vector is a vector which gives the position of a point. Means, if let it is an A point, I want to give the position of the point, or I want to identify the position of the point. How I am actually going to do that? In coordinate system, I am going to write the coordinates here. Let it 2, 4 like this. I am writing the coordinate, and once you write the coordinate, it means you can. What do you mean by 2, 4? It is 2 along x axis. Let it is x and it is y. It is 2 along x axis and 4 along y axis. That is the meaning. Okay. Similarly, here in vector form, how to write this? You write the expression of this vector. Okay, a vector which is in position vector is normally symbolized as r vector, and this is the position of A. So this vector is normal symbol. I can write it as r a vector, means position vector of A. This vector which is joining the point from the origin, that vector is known as the position vector. If you want to write the definition, you can write a vector joining a point and the origin and directed towards the point. Okay, direction is also important. Directed towards the point, that vector is known as the position vector of a point. Okay, Now let us know how this can give you the position vector and what is the expression of RA vector is going to be. Let the coordinate of this thing is written as x and y. Okay, for now let us write it as x comma y. Means, what do you mean by x comma y? It means this point has, this distance has a value of x in coordinate system normally, and this point or this distance is written as y. That do you mean, that is what meaning by x comma y. And again we know that if this is the vector, then this vector, okay, this vector can be written as, what is this vector? It is along the x axis and the magnitude is small x. So what is this vector will be? X I cap. Similarly, what is this vector will be? From here to here, this vector will be, it is along the y axis and having a magnitude of small y. So it will be, it can be written as y j k. Okay. Now what is the expression of RA vector then? RA vector can be written as x I cap plus y j cap. Very simple. Okay. X I cap plus y j cap. And if it is in 3 dimension, then we can also write it will have x comma y comma z coordinate. So in 3 dimension, in 3D, the general expression of a position vector can be written as x I cap plus y j cap plus z k cap. Where what are the x, y and z? These x, y and z, they are the coordinates of the point A. Okay, so very simple, just you have to remember the definition, and you have to remember that if a point is given 2 comma 3, then what will be its position vector? 2 I cap plus 3 j cap. Or let, for example, there is a vector given like, or there is a point given like this, let it is your y axis and it is given as z axis, and this point B has a coordinate of 2 comma 3. 2 comma 3 means 2 along y and 3 comma z, or you can write it as 0 comma 2 comma 3 also, because there is no x axis here, so x component is 0, you can write. So what will be the position vector? If you draw, then the position vector will be like this, joining the origin and the point and directed towards the point. And if you write the expression of the position vector of B, then you can write it as RB vector equal to 0 I cap, or you can neglect this, 0 I cap means 0, so you may means eliminate it, or you may not write it, plus 2 j cap plus 3 k cap. This is the meaning of position vector. Very simple, but a very important concept for many many difficult and complicated system of vectors, which we will learn in the next few chapters. Okay. Now let us come to check how the displacement vector can be defined and what will be the expression of a displacement vector. Displacement vector. So what do you mean by displacement? Obviously, if these are the 2 points, let it is A point and B point, and we have to define the displacement from A to B, then how you are going to define it? Like this. This is the displacement vector from A to B. Okay. Now how to write it in vector form, or how to write down the expression. Displacement vector we already learned in first chapter or in the motion in a straight line chapter. The displacement is nothing but the straight line distance between 2 points and directed in the direction of motion. Means if it is asking from A to B, then the vector will be this. If it is asking from B to A, then the vector will be this. Okay. So this is the displacement. This is the displacement vector. Now I want to write its mathematical form. So how to do? Let us draw the coordinate system here. Let it is if it is a 2-dimensional vector, initially let us check it is a 2-dimensional vector. It is my origin. So let us draw 2 vector here. One is this position vector, or one is RA vector, and one is its position vector, or this vector, that is RB vector. Okay. Now use the triangle law here. What we are going to use? Triangle law of vector addition. Triangle law of vector addition. If you use the triangle law of vector addition here, then what I can write here? See, which are in the two, how to write triangle law? Two vectors which are in the same order. You can see that these two vectors are in the same order and this vector is in opposite order. So, if you can remember the triangle law, I can write it like RA vector plus AB vector equal to RB vector. Yes or no? This plus this equal to this. Two vectors in same order, if they will be added, then you will get the third vector which is in the opposite order. Okay. Now, if you can write it, then from here very simple to write. What is the expression of AB vector? It will be RB vector minus RA vector. So, a very simple expression. Remember, if it is A to B, then here it will be B vector minus A vector, or position vector of B minus position vector of A. If it is BA vector, okay, if the vector is like this, then you have to write RA vector minus RB vector. So, a displacement vector by mathematical way it can be represented by the position vector of the second point minus position vector of the first point. This is how you have to remember it. Okay. Now, let us check why we are writing actually this I cap, J cap, K cap. For what? There must be some reason behind every concept. It is not that only in your syllabus that is why you are reading. There must be some usefulness of that concept. So, now let us understand properly that why we have learned these mathematical forms, or by using I cap, J cap, K cap. What will be the usefulness if you write it in mathematical form, or if you are writing it in mathematical form, how the mathematics is going to be easy? Because initially we have identified some any vector like this is a vector, that is a vector like this, and we have given the vector or we have shown the vector by writing some angle. Then we have told, no, I don't want to write it like this, I want to write it using some I cap, J cap, K cap. Okay. So, now let us actually understand why I will write it in I cap, J cap, K cap. How much mathematics is becoming easy by writing this vector in I cap, J cap and K cap form. Okay. So, let us check the next topic, that is addition and subtraction of vectors given in rectangular form, okay, or given in component forms. So, this is our next topic, that is addition and subtraction of vectors given in component form. Till now we are going to use triangle law and vector and parallelogram law, polygon law and etc. to add or subtract vectors. Now, let us learn, if two vectors and their angles are not given, rather two vectors are given like this, a vector equal to ax I cap plus ay j cap. Let us consider 2D vectors first. The same concept can be forwarded or can be extended to 3D also. A vector is this and B vector is given as bx I cap plus by j cap. Remember, this ax, ay, bx, by, they are nothing but some magnitude, some numbers. 2 ik plus 3 j cap, it is 5 ik plus 6 j cap, like that, some numbers. Okay. So, it given like that, and it is asked to find a vector plus b vector. Okay. So, how to do? Let us first understand. The concept is very simple, but let us understand from where that concept came from. Let this is x axis and y axis. Let us first draw this a vector. Okay. So, if this is your a vector, let us draw a small vector. This is a vector. Okay. Let us draw small vectors, a vector. Now, if it is a vector, then it will have two components, one along this axis and one along this axis, and it is given x axis, along x axis how much it is given, ax, and along y axis how much the component is, ay. Now, if that is another vector, b vector is there, let b vector is like this, this is your let b vector. So, it will also have two components, one component will be this will be your bx, from here to here it is bx, and by component will be here, from here to here it will be by. Okay. This is what this means. this a vector equal to this much and b vector equal to this much, it meaning is this. Now you want to add these two vectors. Okay, first let us add the components. If I am adding these two vector, it is equal to adding the components. Now why I will add the components? Because you can see that this component and this component, what is the angle between them? 0 degree. Ax and bx have an angle of 0 degree with each other. Means obviously if we will add them, then it will be ax plus bx, because they are in the same direction, and we know that if two vectors are in the same direction, then you just have to add to find the resultant. So I have just added. No use of vector addition here, you can simply add ax plus bx. Similarly, these two vectors are having 0 degree with each other. So if you add the vectors, again it will be simply addition ay plus by. No need of vector addition or special formula, because the angle is 0 degree. Now let us, if this is ax plus bx and this is ay plus by, you can get another vector, means you can get a vector which has a component of ay plus by along this direction and ax plus bx along this direction, means this is your vector. This is a vector which has a component of ax plus bx along this direction and ay plus by along this direction, and this is nothing but your r vector. Because how you got this r vector? By adding the components of the vectors. Let us make it simple. Okay, let us understand it in a simpler manner. Let I have to add two numbers, 12 plus 15. Okay, what I am going to do, I am going to write it as 10 plus 2 and this as, let it is 25. Okay, and this as 20 plus 5. For simplification of addition, I have written it like this, 10 plus 2 and it is as 20 plus 5. Now what I am going to do is, these two simple numbers I am going to add and I am going to write the answer as 30. Again these two numbers I am going to add and I am going to write 7. Now 30 plus 7 will give you the answer as 37. So the same process we are using actually here. This is, let this vector, I have divided into two parts. One is this, one is this. Okay, ax and ay. Similarly, this b is this, let it is b, this 25. I have again divided that b into two components, 20 plus 5, or here bx and by. Okay. Then what I have done? I have added these two components, means I have added ax and bx, and similarly I have added these two components, means ay and by, and that's how I got the result. So the same thing I am doing here. I am not going to add a vector and b vector directly. 12 plus 25 I am not going to add directly, rather I am dividing it into simple numbers. Okay, here 10, here 20, how much answer? 30. Then here 2, here 5, how much answer? 7, then add them. The same thing I am doing here. For this it is ax, for this it is bx, simply add them because they are with 0 degree. Similarly for this ay, for this by, simply add them because they have 0 degree angle. Now you got the answer. These two, okay, this and this 30 and 7, this is your 30, this is your 7. So just add them to find the answer, and you don't have to actually add them, just write the r vector expression. R vector expression will be how much? Ax plus bx along x axis, this vector, this is your vector. So ax plus bx along x axis, so ax plus bx I cap, okay, plus this one will be ay plus by j k, because it is along the y axis. So this is your answer. Okay. If you understood the concept, it's okay. If you did not understood, then just remember it like this. Let us take an example and let us understand it in a simpler way. A vector, or let f1 vector equal to 2 cap plus 3 cap Newton, and f2 vector equal to 3 cap minus cap minus j cap Newton. The two vector. And question is, what is the net force? What is the net force? F vector can be written as, what is the net force? Ax plus bx I cap, means 2 plus 3 I cap plus ax plus ay means 3 plus minus 1. Here it is nothing, means minus 1 is there, j cap. So what is the value of f vector? F vector will be 5 I cap plus 2 j cap. This is how you are getting the answer. Now you remember how you are going to add two vector by using triangle law. What was the formula? If it is a and b vector given, then the angle between them is given, and you have to write it as you have to find the r equal to a square plus b square plus 2ab cos theta. If you can remember, a and b is given, let the angle between them is given as theta, then r how you are finding? R you are finding as how much? A square plus b square plus 2ab cos theta root over. This was the magnitude. Again, to find the direction, you have to do this, beta equal to tan inverse of what? B sin theta divided by a plus b cos theta. This much thing you have to do to find the r vector. This is by to find magnitude, this is the find direction. But here see what you are doing, simple addition. These two vector added, what is the answer? 2 plus 3, 3 plus minus 1. This is the answer. So direct addition and subtraction we can do if the vectors are written in terms of component forms. So it becomes very easy, and subtraction also exactly in the same way. If you are finding f1 minus f2, 2 minus 3 I cap plus 3 minus minus 1 j cap, that is the answer. I think if you understood this, then it is the concept actually how I can add simply add addition in vectors. And if you have not understood this, then simply remember this, or you can write the formula, general formula like this. If you can write it as a formula, if a vector equal to x I cap plus ay j cap plus az k cap, I am expanding it into 3 dimension, okay, and b vector equal to bx I cap plus by j cap plus bz k cap. Similarly, you can write c vector also. If c vector is also there, then same thing, ax plus bx plus cx I cap, ay plus by plus cy j cap, like that. But I am just writing it for 2, okay, and this, then r vector equal to a vector plus b vector will be equal to ax plus bx I cap plus ay plus by j cap plus az plus bz k cap. Simple, add the similar terms. The I cap term with I cap, j cap term with j cap, and k cap term with k cap. Okay, be again careful with this point, very small point, but be careful on this. If a vector equal to 2 I cap plus j cap, b vector equal to j cap minus I cap, like this it is given. It is asked to find a plus b. It is asked to find a vector plus b vector. Then don't just add the first term with first term. Remember, what is the I cap term here? This. And what is the I cap term here? Is this. Means ax here is 2, here ax is minus 1. So 2 plus minus 1. This much I cap. And plus here it is 1 and 1. So it is 1 plus 1 j cap. Or the answer will be I cap plus 2 j cap. So be careful while you are adding. Add the I cap term, add the j cap term, add the k cap term. Don't just add first term, 2 plus 1, 3 I cap, 1 minus 1 j cap, like that don't write. Here it is I cap, here it is I cap. Here j cap, here j cap. That is why accordingly you add and find the answer. Okay. So these are all the concepts from the vector resolutions and orthogonal vectors and position vector, displacement vector in the last class, and in today's class we have learned all the theories. Now let us solve some very important questions to understand the concepts clearly. Okay, let us come to the question part. Here all the questions were actually 15 questions were there, and all the questions were given in the description. You can download it there, and you write the questions one after one and understand the answers, and you can write the answers one after one. Okay, question number 1. It is a multiple choice question, and 4 four options were given. The question is which of the following is a unit vector. What are given? First option given is I cap plus j cap. Let us check whether it is a unit vector or not. What do you mean by a unit vector? Unit vector means a vector having a magnitude of 1. And what is the magnitude of this vector? What is the magnitude of a vector? See, if a vector equal to x I cap plus ay j cap, then what is the magnitude of a vector? That will be x square plus ay square root over. This is what. Now, if by using this formula, if you find the magnitude of this vector, how much? I cap ax is 1 here, so 1 square. Ay is 1 here, so 1 square root over ax square plus ay square root over. So, what is the answer is root 2. So, what is the magnitude of this vector become? Root 2. So, obviously it is not a unit vector. Remember, I cap is a unit vector, j cap is a unit vector, but I cap plus j cap is not a unit vector because it has a magnitude of root 2. Unit vector must have a magnitude of 1 unit. It has a magnitude of root 2, so it is not a unit vector. This is the first bit given. Now, similarly, you can check for the second bit. It is I cap minus j cap. Exactly same thing you can find here. 1 square plus minus 1 square root over. Again, it will be root 2. So, it is also not a unit vector. Now, let us check C bit. It is 1 by root 2 I cap plus 1 by root 2 j cap. 1 by root 2 I cap plus 1 by root 2 j cap. So, here what is the magnitude will be? It will be 1 by root 2 square plus 1 by root 2 square root over. So, what will be the answer? 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2 root over or 1. 1 root over or equal to 1. So, the magnitude of this vector 1 by root 2 I cap plus 1 by root 2 j cap is 1. So, this is a unit vector. So, what is your correct option? Correct option is this. What? C. The fourth option is both A and B. So, that is also wrong because neither A nor B, none of them are unit vectors. Okay. Let us check the question number 2. So, question number 2 given is find the value of beta in the unit vector 0.4 I cap plus 0.8 j cap plus beta k cap. Given that it is a unit vector and you have to find the value of beta in this vector. So, first thing, if it is a unit vector, then what will be what is the condition? Condition must be x square plus ay square plus az square root over or the magnitude of this vector, that must be equal to 1. Then square on both the sides and solve it to find the value of beta. This is your task. Just calculation you can do. Remember what I have used here, since it is given as a unit vector, then its magnitude must be 1. And how to find its magnitude? Ax square plus ay square plus az square root over, that is equal to 1. Now, square on both the side and do the calculations to find the answer beta. Very easy question, you can do it. Okay. Now, let us come to the next question. Two forces given by F1 vector equal to 2 I cap plus j cap and F2 vector equal to 3 I cap minus k cap are acting at a particle. Find the magnitude of the net force. Find the magnitude of the net force. First, let us find what is the force, net force. F net force must be equal to F1 vector plus F2 vector. But here the additions are very easy because it is given in terms of component form. Simply add these two vector. If you add 2 plus 3 I cap plus 1 minus 1, sorry, 1 plus 1, here j cap is 0. Okay, remember here I cap is 2, ax is 2, ax is bx is 3. So, this here it is 1 and here it is 0, it is not given, j cap is not given means it is 0 j cap. So, here it is 1 plus 0 j cap plus here k cap part is not given, means here that k cap part will be 0 or it will be 0 k cap minus 1 k cap. So, it will be minus 1 k cap. Do it carefully. Here I j is given, here I and k are given, that is why I have do this. So what will the value of f net vector? It will be this 5 I cap plus j cap. 1 j cap means you can simply write j cap minus k cap. But this is not the magnitude. It is asking about the magnitude of the net force. So what will be the magnitude of net force? Magnitude of this. So f net magnitude can be given by ax square plus ay square plus az square root over. Here students normally do the mistake here, minus 1 square they are going to write. Don't write like that. It is az whole square. So it is minus 1 whole square, not minus 1 square. Okay, so be careful, and you can find the f net magnitude, or you can simply write it as f net. Don't give vector symbol, it is the magnitude. So it will be 25 plus 1 root over or equal to root 27 Newton. So this is the answer. Okay, direct question, just you have to do the addition and then you have to find the magnitude of the net vector. Now let us come to the next question. The question given that there are two vector. A vector is given as 4 I cap minus 2 j cap plus 6 k cap, and B vector is given as I cap minus 2 j cap minus 3 k cap. Question is, what is the angle made by A vector plus B vector with x axis? Okay, what is the angle made by A vector plus B vector with x axis? That is the question. Okay, let us check how to do. First let us find what is the value of A vector plus B vector. Simply addition, 4 plus 1 I cap minus 2 minus 4 j cap 6 minus 3 k cap. Now what is the question means, what is the angle between, question is now angle between A vector plus B vector, okay, or let us write it as R vector. So angle between this is R vector and x axis. Okay, I can write, and x axis mean this x axis can be written as I cap, because the angle made with x axis is the same as angle made with I cap, because what is x axis? X axis is like this. What is I cap? I cap is along the same direction. So if a vector makes an angle of 30 degree with x axis, means it is making an angle of 30 degree with I cap. So now the question become, how much this vector makes an angle with this x, with the x axis? That is the question. Okay, here how to solve? Remember that you can write the angle between the vectors. Okay, this formula you can remember that. Write down this as a formula or note in the theory. Angle made by a vector with x axis. Okay, how can be written? It can be given as theta equal to a x divided by a. This is the answer. Sorry, theta equal to, or cos theta equal to this, or I can write theta equal to cos inverse of x by a. Okay. Similarly, if angle made by a vector, this vector is a vector, okay, by a vector with y axis, exactly in the same way I can write theta will be equal to, or let some other angle it can be, let it is alpha, alpha will be equal to cos inverse of a y by a. Similarly for the z axis you can write. Okay, so write it as a note, keep it inside a box, write also for the z axis, and all the three lines you keep it inside a box, and you remember this. Let me just okay, first let me solve this answer. If you use this formula, then how will the answer will come? Let us check that first, then I will tell from where I got these formulas. Okay, So angle between this vector and x axis. So what will be the answer? So answer will be theta, by using this formula, theta will be equal to cos inverse of ax. What is the value, or r vector here? So you are finding here rx, angle between r vector and x axis. So rx divided by r. So what is the rx here? 5. Okay, divided by a, or a vector magnitude. So similarly here r vector magnitude. So what is r vector magnitude? Is 5 square plus minus 4 square plus 3 square root over. So I can write theta equal to cos inverse of 5 divided by, it will be 25 plus 16 plus 9. So I think it will be root 50. 25 plus 16, it is 41 plus 9 is 50. 5 by root 50. So this is the answer. Theta will be equal to cos inverse of 5 by root 50. Okay. Now let us understand this part in somewhat elaborate manner. From where I got these answers? Remember, if A is a vector, okay, if A is a vector, then, and it is, let it is x axis, it is x axis, then A vector has a component of ax along this direction, okay, and this angle is theta. If this angle is theta, then what will be the value of ax? Will be equal to, it will be a cos theta. Okay, so very simple, I can write ax will be equal to a cos theta. If you make an angle of theta with x axis, then ax equal to a cos theta. So what is the value of cos theta? Cos theta will be x by a, or theta equal to cos inverse of ax by a. Very simple. Okay. Similarly, if this, let this angle is alpha. Now if this, let this angle is alpha, then obviously along this axis, okay, with y axis, if I am telling, if this angle is alpha, then this value will be a cos alpha. Yes or no? This angle will be, this will be a cos alpha, and I can write it as a y, a vector component along y axis. So from here I can write a y equal to a cos alpha, okay, or I can write alpha will be equal to cos inverse of a y by a. So that is how these formulas came. If you understood it, it okay. If you have not understood, forget about this and write down this formula. You can remember it as some formula, not as a numerical. Remember it as a formula and use it in this question to find the answer. Okay, now let us come to the next question. Is question number 5. Determine the vector which, when added to the resultant of these two vectors, a vector equal to 2i cap plus 2j cap minus k cap, b vector equal to I cap minus j cap. Two vectors are given and the question is find another vector. Let another vector is some x vector. Okay, find another vector which will be added to this vector to give a unit vector along z axis. Okay, to give a unit vector along z axis. So let us assume that your answer is x vector. X vector means I can write it as x I cap plus y j cap plus z k cap. So let this is the vector which, when added to the resultant of these two vector, will what we will give? We will give the unit vector along z axis. And what is the unit vector along z axis? Is k cap. So in direct way, if the question is made simpler, then add 3 vectors and the resultant will be k cap. Then find the value of x vector. That is the question. Okay. Now just add these 3 vector, a vector plus b vector plus x vector. These 3 vectors are added. This vector is added to the resultant of these two. It means these 3 vectors are added. I can directly add these 3 vector. How? 2 plus 1 plus x. So it will be 3 plus x I cap plus 2 minus 1 plus y. So it will be 1 plus y j cap plus minus 1 0 plus z means minus 1 plus z k cap. So, no, if you add all these, you are going to get k cap. Is it clear? Let me write it. Okay, I think it is clear. Again, let me read it out at least. This is 2 plus 1, 3 plus x I cap, 2 minus 1, 1 plus y j cap, minus 1 plus 0, minus 1 plus z k cap, that is equal to k cap. Now, how it is possible? You compare both the side. What I am writing here is this 3 plus x I cap plus 1 plus y j cap plus minus 1 plus z k cap equal to k cap. I can write this k cap as 0 I cap plus 0 k cap plus 1 k cap, 0 j cap plus 1 k cap, because I cap and j cap are not there, means I can write it as 0 and 0. Now compare both the side, you will get 3 equation, 3 plus x equal to 0 here with here, I cap with I cap component, 3 plus x equal to 0 or x equal to minus 3. Similarly, 1 plus y equal to 0, 1 plus y equal to 0 or y equal to minus 1. Okay. Similarly, this minus 1 plus z equal to 1 or z equal to 0, sorry, z equal to 2. Okay. So, you got the values of x, y and z. Now, put it in this equation, you will find a x vector. So, x vector equal to x I cap means minus 3 I cap plus y j cap means minus 1 j cap or simply minus j cap plus z k cap means plus 2 k cap. So, this is a vector. This vector is when added the resultant of these two, it will give you a unit vector along z axis, or that is k cap. This is how you have to do this type of solution. There are many different methods also. You can first add these two vector, then you can write this plus this equal to k, and then you can solve this also. Anyway, you can solve that, or you can simply write a vector plus b vector plus x vector equal to this. So, x vector equal to this minus a vector plus b vector, means you can write it like this also, a vector plus b vector plus x vector equal to k cap. So, what is x vector equal to? K cap minus a vector plus b vector. That is also you can do. First you write this a vector plus b vector, then subtract k vector minus that answer, you will get the k x vector. That is how also you can do. Same thing you will do, the means the same answer you will get. Okay. Now, let us come to the next question, that is question number 6. Question number 6 is find a vector parallel to the resultant vectors of a vector equal to I cap plus 4j cap plus k cap, b vector equal to I cap plus 2j cap. These two vectors are given. You have to find a parallel vector to the resultant of these two vectors. First, let us find what is the resultant vector. That it is r vector, that is equal to a vector plus b vector. Simple, 1 plus 1 means 2 I cap, 4 plus 2 means 6 j cap, 1 plus 0 means 1 k cap. This is r vector. Now, this vector is, now find a vector which is parallel to r vector. Now, let this is r vector, let this is r vector. Now, why to find a vector which is parallel to r? Now, let us simply find r cap. Isn't it r cap is parallel to r vector? Obviously, what is the meaning of parallel vector? As we have defined, parallel vector means if this is a vector and this is a vector, they are parallel, or even this is a vector, this is a vector, they are parallel. Because parallel vectors does not mean parallel lines. Parallel vector means two vectors having the same direction. So, these two vectors are also having the same direction. These two vectors are also having the same direction. Okay. So, r cap and r vector are parallel to each other. Yes or no? So, let us simply find r cap. If you find r cap, then that will be a what? That will be a vector parallel to the resultant vector. Simple thing. Okay, so find r cap. R cap will be equal to, how to find r cap? It is r vector divided by r vector magnitude. Remember this formula. From where it came? From here. A vector equal to a vector magnitude into a cap. So a cap equal to a vector divided by a vector magnitude. So r cap equal to r vector by r vector magnitude. So r vector is 2y cap plus 6j cap plus k cap divided by root over of r vector magnitude. This vector magnitude, how much? Ax square plus ay square plus az square. 2 square, 6 square, 1 square. Okay. So I found that r cap equal to how much? 2y cap plus 6j cap plus k cap divided by root over of 41. Root over of 41. You can write it like this, or you can write it like this. R cap equal to 2 by root 41 I cap plus 6 by root 41 j cap plus 1 by root 41 k cap. So this is r cap, and r cap is nothing but a vector parallel to r vector or parallel to a vector plus b vector. So that is the answer. Now you can also do one thing. See, this is r cap, means this. Now if I multiply 2 with r cap, then what will be the answer? As we know that if you multiply a scalar with a vector or a number with a vector, then what will happen? Only the magnitude will be 2 times. If I am writing 3f vector, f vector has a magnitude of 5 Newton, then 3f vector will have a magnitude of 15 Newton. The direction is not going to change. Direction will be same. F vector direction and 3f vector direction are same. Similarly, r cap direction and a 2r cap direction, they both will be in the same direction, only the magnitude will be different. Similarly, 3r cap, this is 3r cap, that is also in the same direction. Means I can tell, if r cap is parallel to r vector, 2r cap is also parallel to r vector, 3r cap is also parallel to r vector. Means what I want to tell is that if this vector is parallel to r vector, this is your answer. But if someone will multiply this total with some 5 and he want to write 5 r cap, this is also a vector. This vector will also be parallel with r vector. If you want to multiply 10, let this is your 10 r cap vector, because r cap will be 10 times, but the direction will be same, and I can tell this vector, this 10 r cap vector is also parallel to r vector. So what I want to tell is that r cap is parallel to r vector. Similarly, any number n r cap, 5 r cap, 2 r cap, 6 r cap, or n r cap, any number you multiply, any integer you multiply with r cap, the vector will again give you a vector which is parallel to r vector. Is this point clear? I think r cap and r vector are parallel. Similarly, 2 r cap, 3 r cap, 10 r cap, n r cap, all are parallel with r vector. Okay, so this is the question. Now if you understood this, then the next question, that is question number 7, is also in the same kind of thing. Okay, and that is your assignment. You go through this question properly, understand the concept, and solve the question number 7. That is your assignment. Next, okay, let us come to the question number 8. There are 2 points given. A point whose coordinates are 1, 2, -1, and another is B point whose coordinates are 3, 1, 1. And what is the question? Find AB vector. Find AB vector. Okay, and its magnitude. Okay. So how to find AB vector? I have already told that AB vector or displacement vector, this is nothing but displacement vector, can be written as RB vector minus RA vector, position vector of the second point minus position vector of the first point. Just at the initial part of this video we have derived it. So if I write it again, RB vector, how to write RB vector? If the coordinate are 3, 1, 1, there itself I have told how to write the position vector. it will be 3 I cap plus j cap plus k cap, 1 j cap 1 k cap, minus r a vector. What is r a vector? It will be 1 I cap or I cap plus 2 j cap minus k cap. Simple. You got the position vector of B, position vector of A, then simply write it. Then subtract it, 3 minus 1, that will be 2 I cap, 1 minus 2, that will be minus 1 j cap, 1 minus 1 0, that will be 0 k cap, or you may sorry, k minus minus 1, so it is plus, so it will be plus 2 k cap. Okay, so this is your AB vector. Very simple. You have to remember here that for this formula first, the displacement vector can be given by position vector of second point minus position vector of first point. Then again you have to remember how to write the position vector from the coordinates. Okay, simply use the I cap, j cap, k cap with x, y and z coordinate. Okay, so by that formula we can find. Now let us come to the next question, question number 9. These are very basic form questions we are doing. Okay, not higher order questions. These are very basic questions. Only 1 or 2 questions at towards the end I have added where we have to use some trick. Otherwise all these are basic questions. One of the rectangular components of velocity of 80 km per hour is 40 km per hour. What is given? A rectangular component of 80 km per hour, one of the rectangular component of this is 40 km per hour. Okay, find the other component. Very simple. Okay, if this is your v vector, I can write this is your v. Okay, or v vector magnitude, total velocity vector magnitude. This is one component. One component is not given, whether it is horizontal component or vertical component or x axis component or z axis component or y axis, nothing is given. So let us write it as vx. One component of this total is vx vector's magnitude. So v is given, vx is given. What is x? What is the value of vy? Use this formula. V will be equal to vx square plus vy square magnitude. Okay, general formula of a vector. Okay, now use these values. 80 equal to, this is 40 square plus vy square root over, then square on both the side and find the value of vy equal to how much. So vx is given and vy is asked. So this is your answer. Solve it to find the answer. Very direct question. This is the net force or net velocity. Sorry, the net velocity. It is one component of the velocity. You have to ask the other component. You can take it as vx, you can take it as vz, you can take it as vy, anything, but you have to find the other component. So using this formula to find the other component. Okay, now let us come to the next question. Question is also a very direct question, but it contains very small concept. Okay, a very small concept it contains. A rope is attached to a stone. A child pulls a rope attached to a stone with a force of 60 Newton. Okay, there is a stone here and a child is pulling it with a force of how much? 60 Newton. And it makes an angle of 40 degree with the ground. It makes an angle of 40 degree with the ground. Calculate the effective value of the pull tending to move the stone along the ground. Means, see, this is a force. This force I can divide into two components. One is this and one is this. If this is f vector, I can write it as fx vector and I can write it as fy vector. Now the question is, what value of the force or what effective value of this pulling is helping to move the stone along the ground? See, if you are pulling it like this, then the stone will have two components. Means this component will act along this direction. Means due to this component, the stone will move towards this direction. And due to this component, the stone will try to move in the upward direction. Now the stone may move upward, may not. Okay, because due to its weight is there. If the force is more than that weight, then it will move upward. That's a different thing. But there will be a force towards this direction which will try to take the stone towards this direction on the ground, and this force will try to take the stone in the upward direction. Okay, so there will be two things, and those are the questions. What is the force along the horizontal direction and what is the force along the vertical direction? That is the question. What is the calculate the force which tends to move the stone along ground, calculate the force which tends to lift the stone means move the stone in the upward direction. So very simple, you can use the formula Fx, first bit Fx will be equal to F into cos 40 degree, or F is 60, cos 40 value is given in the question, you can refer that value as 0.766 and you will find the answer. Now how to find the value of Fy? It will be F into sin 40 degree, but sin 40 value neither we know nor it is given, but you can write this sin 40 as 1 minus cos 40 degree whole square. Sin theta equal to 1 minus cos square theta. So now you use it, the value F is 60 into root over of 1 minus cos 40 square. Cos 40 is 0.766 that whole square. So that here you will get the answer. Do the calculation, you will find the answer. Okay, very small concept, that if you are applying a force, one force is trying to take it in this direction, another force is trying to lift the stone along the upward direction. Okay, now let us come to the next question. Question number 11 and 12, those are assignments for you, very easy question, you can try by yourself. Now let us come to the question number 13. Here it is given that a man rows a boat with a speed of 18 km per hour in northwest direction. I think you know east, west, north, south. So northwest means exactly in between north and west. So along this direction. And the shoreline means the bank of the river. Okay, shoreline is making an angle of 15 degree south of west, means from west you go 15 degrees south. So let it is 15 degree south of towards the means from west you move towards the south by how much angle? By an angle of 15 degree. So this is the river or shoreline of the river. The question is, obtain the component of the velocity of the boat along the shoreline and perpendicular to the shoreline. Again very simple question. This is the velocity vector. You have to find a component whose component is along towards this way, because if this is a vector, it will have two component. See, here you will not get along x and y axis. It is not asked to find you the component along x and y. That is the only small trick it contains, this question contains. Means if this is a vector, then you can divide it into these two axes. Okay, that is how we normally do. But if this is a vector and I don't want to divide it like this, rather I can divide it in this way also. Means I can tell that let this is one axis and this is one axis, like this also I can divide. It is not needed that you will divide like this. Or you can tell, see, if this is a vector, I can divide this component like this, one component towards this and one component towards this, means this will be one vector and this will be another vector. Because x and y axis does not have fixed direction, it is not always that this is x and this can be y. This can be x, this can be y, this can be x, this can be y. The only characteristics is that x, y and z axis are always mutually perpendicular to each other. So here also they must be perpendicular. Here also they must be perpendicular. Here also they must be perpendicular. Is it clear? So here it is not asked to find the component of 18 km per hour along these two lines. It is asked you to find the component along this line and its perpendicular line. Its perpendicular line means this. This is the perpendicular line to the shore. This is the perpendicular lines to the shore. So what will be its component? So first you have to find the angle with this one, with the shore line. What is the angle? This is 45, this is 15. What is the total angle? 60. So along this direction how much it will come? 18 into cos 60, because 60 is connected with this axis. So it will be 18 into cos 60 degree. cos 60 is 1 by 2, so it will be 9 kilometer per hour. And along the perpendicular direction, means this, along this direction, this is the perpendicular to the shoreline. So along this direction, how much it will come? 18 into sin 60 degree, or it will be equal to 18 into sin 60 is root 3 by 2, or equal to 9 root 3 kilometer per hour. So these are the answer. Along the shoreline, the component is 9 kilometer per hour, and along the perpendicular direction of the shoreline, the component is 9 root 3 kilometer per hour. Very simple question. Only you have to understand that there it is not fixed that x axis will be like this and y axis will be like this. X axis can be like this, y axis can be like this also. Okay, in any direction we can take it, but the only characteristics between them is that they must be mutually perpendicular to each other. In whichever direction you may take, they must be mutually perpendicular to each other. Okay. Now let us come to the next question, question number 14. Here it is a trick. Coming to the question number 14, let me remind you one concept. If this is a vector, okay, and this is the ay component, this is the let ax component, and if this angle is theta, then theta can be found by theta equal to tan inverse of ay by ax. This we have learned yesterday. Okay, you can check that video there. Okay, so here let what is the question given? There are two billiard balls are rolling on a flat table. Let there is a flat table. Okay, let this is the table surface, and there are two billiard balls rolling on that. First billiard ball has components Vx equal to 1 meter per second and Vy equal to root 3 meter per second. First billiard ball has Vx component, means let it is x axis, it is y axis. Velocity along x axis, that is Vx, is equal to 1 meter per second, and velocity along y axis is root 3 meter per second. That it is Vy, it is equal to root 3 meter per second. Okay. So what will be the value of V? Obviously like this, the resultant of these two, because the velocity components are these two, means this will be the V vector. This is the direction of the first, or velocity vector of the first billiard ball. Now for the second billiard ball, what is given? For the second billiard ball, the x component is also 2 meter per second. So let this is let Vx dash, that is equal to 2 meter per second, and the y component is also 2 meter per second. So let it is Vy dash, that is again equal to 2 meter per second. So what will be the net velocity direction? You can draw it like this, okay, by using this vector plus this vector, because these are the components of the original vector. So this is the V dash vector. Now the question is, what is the angle between these two velocity vectors? That is the question. This is the let angle theta. That is the question. Okay. Now let us use this formula to find the answer. First let us find what is this angle is. What is this angle is? Okay, let this angle we have to find is let alpha. The question is angle, find the value of alpha. Now let this angle is theta, this angle, this total angle is theta, means the angle made by the first vector with the x axis is theta, and angle made by the second vector with the x axis is let theta dash. Okay. So what will be the value of theta? Theta will be equal to tan inverse of Vy by Vx. So it will be tan inverse of root 3 by 1, or what is the value of tan inverse root 3? Tan theta equal to root 3 means theta obviously will be equal to 60 degree. Okay. Similarly, for the other one, theta equal to tan inverse of, theta dash equal to tan inverse of Vy dash by Vx dash, means 2 by 2. Now what is tan inverse of 1? In tan table you will get tan 45 degree equal to 1. So theta dash we got is 45 degree. So now the question, alpha is, from the diagram it is very clearly seen that alpha is nothing but theta minus theta dash. This angle minus this angle will give you this angle. Okay, so theta minus theta dash or alpha will be equal to 60 minus 45 degree or equal to 15 degree. So that is the answer. Okay, so here you have to remember that this formula you have to use twice and you have to understand the diagram. From diagram it will be very easy to find the answer. Here the method is not difficult, but it is a important thing to understand that this question can be solved from a graph or from a diagram. Okay. Now let us come to the last question, that is question number 15. Here it is given that a bird is flying. Okay, let us first take three axes x, y and z, because bird cannot fly on the ground or fly on ground. Bird can fly in 3 dimensions like this. Okay, but we cannot draw the 3 dimensional velocity, and hence we are drawing the velocity like this. Okay, and this is your z axis shown in the paper, but it is not actually z axis. Z axis is like this. You cannot show it on the paper, that is why you are showing this. So this is your z axis, this is x axis, this is y axis, and here I can tell this x is as the direction of east. Okay, this is y as direction of north, and this z is the vertical direction. Okay, so it is given that this is the velocity. The pencil represents the velocity and the pen represents the vertical direction. Okay. Now it is given that the angle between this velocity and the east axis, east direction is 60 degree, means this direction is 60 degree, and it is also given that it makes an angle of 60 degree with z axis or with z, this vertical direction. I think this diagram is clear. Now let us draw it on a paper. So what is given? This angle is 60 with east, and with the vertical this angle is also 60. Now remember, in the paper it will not look like 60, it will look like something 150 or something like that, but actually you have to understand that this is this, and this angle is nothing but 60 degree. This angle is 60 and this angle is how much? 60 degree. So if you remember the concept where I have told that if a vector, a 3-dimensional vector makes an angle of alpha with x axis, makes an angle of beta with y axis, and makes an angle of gamma with z axis, then I can write the vector, here it is v vector, as v cos alpha I cap plus v cos beta j cap plus v cos gamma k cap. Okay, in the initial part of the video I have explained this. Now here alpha is given, so I can find cos alpha. Gamma is given, so I can find cos gamma also, but the problem is beta is not given, and while explaining that concept I have told that I can find the value of beta by using this formula of mathematics, that is cos square alpha plus cos square beta plus cos square gamma is always 1. Whatever the values of alpha, beta, gamma you take, if they are the angle with x, y and z axis for the 3-dimensional vector, then this is always going to be 1. Now if this is going to be 1, now let us put the values of alpha and beta. So it is cos square 60 degree plus cos square beta plus again cos square 60 degree equal to 1, or cos 60 is how much? 1 by 2. So cos square 60 is 1 by 4, again it is 1 by 4 plus cos square beta equal to 1, or I can write cos square beta equal to 1 minus 1 by 4 plus 1 by 4, it is nothing but 1 by 2, so it is 1 by 2. So cos beta equal to how much? 1 by root 2. Okay, so cos beta equal to, if it is 1 by root 2, then obviously beta will be equal to 45 degree. Okay, so this is the beta value from where you can find it. There I have mentioned if two angles are also given, you can find the third angle. This is how you can find. Now put this beta here and write down this expression, that is the expression of velocity vector. First let us write it down. So v vector will be equal to v is given as, what is the velocity of the bird? It is given as 20 meter per second. In the question it is given 20 meter per second. So v will be equal to v cos alpha, means 20 into cos 60 degree I cap plus v into cos beta, means cos 45 degree j cap plus v into cos gamma, again cos 60 degree k cap. Okay, now just write the answer as v vector equal to, this will be tan I cap plus it will be tan root 2 j cap plus tan k cap. So this is the velocity vector. Okay, and the question was represent the velocity vector in rectangular form. This is the velocity vector in rectangular form. Okay, tan I cap plus tan root 2 j cap plus tan k cap. I think all these parts are clear. Now you can go through all the questions, understand the concepts and solve the assignments that I have given to clear your concept more. Okay, so be safe and study well. Till then we will meet in the next class. Thank you.